Okay guys, this is just a quick video to help out the new guys coming to ACC on how to actually do your tyres and get them set up so you're good. First thing we're going to look at is the PSI hot and the PSI on each tyre. At the moment they're at 0 simply because we've not done a lap. But we're going to go out, we're just going to do a lap or so. I'm going to skip out most of the laps half the time, so you don't have to sit and watch 4 and 5 laps, because the GT4 car that we're in does take some time to get up to temperature. Also, the GT4 car, you're looking for a PSI between 26.5 and 27.5, but generally around 27 is okay. As you can see right now, they're on 21.2, 21.9, 21.9, 20.6 and they're blue. When you're blue, you don't want to touch the curves because it will send you. I'm not, like I say, I probably won't talk the whole way through this, but if I think of things, I'll say it. At the moment, all we're doing is just a couple of laps to get the tyres warmed up. As you can see, the brakes are starting to warm up and the tyres are starting to come green. While the brakes and the tyres are blue, these cars don't want to stop, they don't get good traction. Outside of your PSI window, you're also not going to get good traction either. This is actually on track in one of the leagues that I race in on PS4. The tyres work the same on PS4 and PS5 regardless. You work it the exact same way. I did forget to show at the end of this section, once I get the tyre pressures where I like them, I actually saved it but forgot to show you guys me saving it. But we'll go over that closer to the time. I have a lot of problems with my McLaren anyway, so it does get quite slippery at times, but as you can see at the back end it's still 24.9 and 25.6. Alright, so we're going to come up here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and skip to the next section, which will be when the tyres are somewhat heated up so you don't have to deal with this. Right, so as you can see, the tyre temperatures are a lot different. There are 26.1, 26.6, 25.8 and 26.2. So it's still not where we would like to be. There's one of them is in the right kind of space, but we really want to have them in a much better PSI range. On the Just incidentally, on GT3 you're looking to get that range around 27.5. That's what happens when you miss your braking point, when you're not concentrating. Right, so back to setups. Okay, as I said, we're looking at the hot PSI, which is 26.3 and 21.2. So what we want to do is get that 26.3 up to about 27, which is about 7 PSI. So we stick about 0.7 PSI in there. Oh sorry, is it 0.7? Yeah, sorry, gone blind. And then basically go around, that was 27, so we don't need to touch it. 26.6 is 4. And then 25.9, that's almost 10. That's 11. So we'll put that PSI up by 0.11, 1.1 basically. And then basically what you do, you go straight back out and you do some more laps and you see if that gets you closer to your target PSI. As you can see, every time you start out on a GT4 car you got blue tyres because there's no heaters. So your PSIs are actually a lot lower. As you increase your PSIs, they'll come up. Now this is another trick to heat your tyres up quicker and get your PSIs up quicker. If you ride the brakes for a little while, you see how the brakes got really hot really quick, and now the tyres will start to build up temperature and PSI a lot quicker as well. It's a trick I should use a lot more, but when I'm practicing I don't bother, I just glide round the track. Try to get the tyres warm before I get to the start finish line. But before the preparation of a race, before you go into an actual race, you're probably going to want to go ahead and hit those brakes and make sure that your brakes are nice and warm before you get to the first corner. The first corner's always the big crash corners usually. So as you see, once again we're going to go ahead and skip here till a bit further into the track times, and then we'll come back. So about a lap and a bit now, you can see the tyre pressures are really up there. 26.7, 26.8, 26.8 and 26.8. Now those pressures I'd be quite happy to go into a race with. Those are well within the regular and well within your PSI window. Nothing wrong with going on a race like that. So just finish up a bit of this lap here. As you can see also, just by putting up the pressures, you can actually get a good chunk of time off of your lap times as well, until you slide like an idiot and invalidate your lap. But like I say, yeah, you can actually get your tyre pressures in the right range, and it will definitely make a big impact on your times. So at the moment we've got 27 all round, except the front right tyre, which was 27.1. As you'll notice, the temperature coming down a wee bit there. It's because you're going along the straight and the brake ducts are cooling down the brakes, which in turn breaks the temperatures down in PSI. Alright, so this is where I'm going to save it. And we're going to save it at 38 Celsius, because that's what the track temperature is. And we're going to come back in on a different temperature, and I'll show you how to try and set your tyres up just perfect to start off with. Okay, so that's us back in. Going to load up the setup. Now what I would like to mention is, this is a rough guide. You'll never get it just 100% accurate, because you're dealing with temperatures and stuff. Basically 38 degrees centigrade and 20 degrees Celsius, these are the two temperatures we're looking at. It's roughly 0.1 psi for every degree change. So we're going to go up in pressure. And once you get all four tyres pressures up to scratch, all you have to do is go back out and we'll run a few laps. Alright, so for anybody that was watching carefully, they would have noticed the temperature difference between where I had saved the setup and what it is 20 degrees, 21 degrees. I only went up 10 psi, so, or 11 psi, so what I need to do now is basically go up another 10 psi on each tyre. So I'm going to do that real quickly, and then we'll get back out on track and we'll have the correct increments, and we'll see what the difference is between 27 all round 20 to what we get now by just going up those 2.1 clicks for the 21 degrees difference.
Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
Again, you can see the tyres are at 21 point something, 22 point something, and they're blue and cold. So all you do is take it easy the first couple of laps just to make sure that you get your tyres up to temperature. Every time you go off the track, you'll affect your safety rating, your consistency rating, your car control rating. As I said, this is on PS4, and I learned on PS4, so my ratings are still, it takes about 250 or 350 miles, 100 miles to actually clear your big crash. If you had a big crash just now, it's about 350 miles or 375 miles, I think they said, to actually clear that off your record. So I have started to go up again now, but on the PC I didn't have that problem. I played it a little bit more, so my safety rate and everything's a lot higher on that at the moment. So as you can see, we're starting to get that pressures to come up now. And with wanted to leave it a bit longer on this one because the temperatures are a lot lower at this on this instance. And I want to show you that although the tyre pressures did initially come up quite quick, they kind of peter off on the speed that they come up so high at. It takes a while longer on a colder track to get your tyres up, and this is overclassed, things like that, so these all come into it. Not to mention we've got the brake ducts opened a lot more than you would generally on this track at this temperature. But brake ducts and things are something different completely. If you guys like this wee video and you want some more, just let me know. Again, I'm not an expert on this is just little tricks and techniques that I've found to help you guys out that are just starting out. So it's around 2 laps we've done, and we're still struggling to get it all the way up. But like I say, when you get to a colder track, anything up to 5 laps will tell you exactly what your PSI is supposed to be at. Alright, so I think we've gone far enough just to show you what's going on. Let's get ready here. We'll go ahead and skip forward to closer to the end of the laps. Okay, so skipped on. We're about midway through lap 3 at Kyalami still. The PSIs are now up to the 26.7, 26.6, 26.8, 26.7. Now, like I said at the beginning there's no guarantee that you're going to get to the 27.7. But by knowing what your temperatures are at a certain time, by knowing that it was 38 degrees the first time we set the tyre pressures up, we now know that with a 27 degree temperature you need to go up about 21. It will bring you to this point, and then once you got to this point you could race at this. You could race it with these pressures. You'd want them to be a little bit higher, but there's nothing you can do about it because you're guessing. Now, that would be if you're coming from practice to qualifying to race. You don't have enough time to go out and do practice laps and stuff between qualifying and the race. You just go straight from qualifying into the race. So you need to be able to, on the fly, change it like we did here. But if we go in and we go back and look at what the setup says, we can figure out what our highest PSI was. So I mean, at that point you can race with that setup. It's perfectly fine. I hope this helps you guys out. Like I say, if you want any more help with anything else, just give me a wee shout and I'll try and do my best.